Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Every word you say. Woo! Good morning. Good morning. Mm. You guys are the best. What you know about TMT Time? You're the best. All seven and we'll watch them fall. They stand in the way of love and we will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. No one in the whole universe will ever compare. I am yours now and you are mine, and together we'll love through all space and time, so don't cry. One day all seven will die. All seven and we'll watch them fall. They stand in the way of love and we will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. No one in the whole universe will ever compare. I am yours now and you are mine, and together we'll love through all space and time, so don't cry. One day all seven will die. And I saw an angel come down unto me. In her hand she holds the very key. Words of compassion, words of peace. And in the distance, an army's marching deep. Behold, we will watch them fall. Lay down on the sand of the sea. Before stand and creed that we speak not of love, only blasphemy. Distance from 6 others won't touch me, and that's alright. I will watch them fall. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7, and we'll watch them fall. In the way of love, and we will smoke them all. We can't collect. Woo! No one in the whole universe will ever compare. I am yours now, and you are mine, and together we'll love you. Space and time, so don't cry. One day your 7 will die. That's how old. We will see you again, a real love. Every love soul shall die in spite of 7 tears. But do not fear, for in the distance, 12 souls from now, you and me will still be here. We will still be here. There will be a new city with the streets of gold. Young, so educated, they never grow old. There will be no death, with every breath, a voice of men in color sing a song that's so old. Singing while we watch them. Here comes the breakdown. Here comes the breakdown. Oh. 7, and we watch them fall. They stand away in love, and we will smoke them all. We beg you to let stop while there. No one in the whole universe will ever compare. I am yours now, and you are mine, and together we'll conquer space and time, so don't cry. Day your 7 will die. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, can you hear me?
Oh, I
We
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay,
Thank
good, good,
Yep,
awesome.
we can hear you. I can hear Prince.
You can hear
Awesome.
Prince?
I can hear Prince.
Yeah, yeah. Prince and I go way back. You know, I'm gonna show you some. I'm gonna share some stories later on when I have some more time. But yeah, we go way back. We go way back. I'm glad you guys love the
You
Prince and
should
the
play
music.
Diamond Pearl. You should play Diamond Pearl. That's the request for the next meeting.
You know what? I'm gonna take requests too. I'm a struggling DJ artist, so I'll take any requests. All right, guys, this is an exciting time. Thank you for being on this call. I know it's Sunday morning. Sunday is a great day. I know it's snowing outside. It's cold, but it's still a wonderful day because we're up, our eyes are open, and the sun is out, and that's always a great day. But I want you guys to be excited. We are coming into what we call peak, and this is our peak time. So, any questions? Anytime you guys want to time in, just jump right in. I'm on a laptop right now, so I won't be able to see the chat. If you guys are going on chat, I won't be able to see any questions that I ask on chat. So definitely just jump in and ask any questions you may have. We won't be on for too long. It's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. I just want to give you guys what to expect during this time of the season. For those of you who are brand new, and also just remind you guys how important this time is really for your bonus, for your pockets, and just get you guys mentally ready and mentally prepared. Okay, so so let's get started. This is TMT time now. You know that's our group name, that's our logo, that's our mantra. TMT, and this is the next 3 weeks is straight TMT time, okay? And this is what we trained for. This is what we prepared for. This is what we got. This is what we got ready for. Excuse me. This is what we got ready for. So that being said, you know, we went through tax school. We did a whole bunch of workshops. We did about 20 webinars. well over 40 hours of self-study. We sacrificed a lot of time and a lot of energy. Now is the time to get paid for all that. This is a time where everything comes back to us. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we get those things back and what to really, really be aware of and what to focus on during the next 3 weeks. All right, so just to give you some feedback, and I may have gone over this with you guys before, but I just want to break down last year and why this year is going to be a little bit differently. Okay, so last year in total we had 966 walkouts. That includes people who actually walked out and people who said they were coming back who didn't come back. So that's real walkouts and returns on hold last season. 966. That's a lot of business that we lost during 2018. 750 of those returns came between January 2nd and February 8th, which is our most busiest time. Okay, we recorded about $330,000 worth of business that was lost just from those walkouts and uncompleted holds. Okay, unfunded returns. Those returns have FMS debt and verification letters that refunds went straight to the clients. Now, we recorded about 500 clients that were either FMS debt or verification letters. Now, out of those 500 clients, 410 of those clients came between January 2nd and February 8th. So you guys started to see a pattern here. All right, sender friends. Now, 2018, we didn't have as much sender friends as we had before the year before. All right, but 80% of our sender friends came between January 20th and February 8th. Okay, now in total, when we calculate all these numbers, we potentially lost about $600,000 of income. And what that means is more opportunities for a lot of people, whether it be more jobs full time, access to health benefits and 401k, opening new office and expanding, salary increases, and $150,000 of bonuses that could have went out to everyone that was on the team last year. Okay, I say this because we have a these next 3 weeks are a very crucial time that we have to take advantage of, or we'll miss out on the opportunity to make a lot of money. And I'm not talking about your regular paychecks, your biweekly payroll. I'm just talking about straight bonus and incentives. Okay, and we have an opportunity to maximize that within the next 3 weeks. Now, I'm sure you guys are already aware of and you know how the bonus factors works, but let me just break it down for you guys again. Now, you will get a bonus based on completing 50 paid returns. Okay. Now, what paid means is people who actually pay for the returns. All right. So it does not include free returns, does not include unpaid bank products, which is through FMS or verification letters, and it does not include returns that are heavily discounted. Okay. So realistically, you could do 50 returns, but only 40 of those returns actually got paid. Okay, so that's why it's very important to be aware is 50 paid returns. Okay, so what that means is that if you have holes that are unaccounted for, if you don't know these returns were paid or versus not paid, you could miss out on potentially getting a bonus for this season. Okay, our job and mainly my job is to make sure that you guys are well aware of where you are, especially during these 3 weeks as far as your 50 paid returns, your close rate, and your customer service rating. Okay, and for me personally, my goal every year has always been to give out as much bonus as possible, right? To give out the biggest bonus check as possible, because when I do that, that means that the company did very well. That's number one, and number two, the more bonus payouts we give out, the more likely we will have people coming back the next following year. Clients want to see the same people over and over again. They don't really want to see new people. So the emphasis is to bring people back and bring people back happy. So peak week is coming up, and that starts actually tomorrow. Monday starts peak. Okay. Now we've talked about peak before. We understand what peak means is when the majority of our clients file. What I want you guys to do right now is get away from the word peak and let's focus on the word bonus. All right. This is bonus weeks. All right. It's no longer peak week. We all understand what that means. It's bonus week. It's about you guys and it's about how to maximize what you guys can get. Okay, so just to break it down, is 80% of bonuses are calculated during the next 3 weeks. The reason why is because 80% of all taxpayers file by February 8th. Okay, 80% of taxpayers will get their return done
that same day. So, for example, if they leave your office, they will go to another office to get that return done. No one wants to deal with the hassle of looking for different offices, going here and there to try to figure something out. 80% of the people, if they go to one office by 10 a.m., they will, and they don't complete it there, by 2 p.m. they will complete it at another office. And that's have always happened over the 12 years that we've been in business. Okay. Also, 80% of people will know at least 3 people that has not filed yet during bonus week. Okay. Now, just to break down how it works, during February 8th and April 15th, revenue that comes into the business, all that goes to payroll, rent, general office expenses, bank fees, supplies, things like that. During January 21st to February 8th, which is bonus week, all revenue goes to the royalties we pay out and to pay out bonuses. Okay, so the next 3 weeks, revenue that we obtain is put aside and budgeted straight for bonus. Okay, and then everything after that goes straight to paying the rent for the year, paying the payroll for the rest of the year, paying the office supplies and expenses for the rest of the year, and whatever bank fees we accumulated through the advances, that's paid through the rest of the year. All right, so how do we use that what we know right now to maximize our bonus, to maximize what we could get and how we could potentially walk away from the next 3 weeks as happy as possible. Okay, the first thing is customer service. Now, we did an exciting customer service presentation during the leadership meeting, which is online on the YouTube page called Forward Marketing. If you haven't watched that, watch it. If you have, watch it again. It's a very, very good presentation. It talks about the importance of customer service. Okay, but during the next 3 weeks, you want to really roll out the red carpet. Customer service should be at an all-time high the next 3 weeks. Remember, 80% of the people will be following within these 3 weeks, and they're making a decision if they're going to stay with us or they're going to check someone else. And customer service has a lot to do with that. I believe we said that about 70 to 80% of the people will leave an office or not come back to office because of customer service, where everything else has to do with either they moved or they died or something else. Okay, so that's number one. Customer service needs to be at an all-time high. It's closing the 7 steps to closing the sale. You guys have been doing an awesome job with that. Our close rate right now is higher now than it was last year. All right, so you guys already understand the importance of closing the sale. We don't need to go over that in detail, but just remember and remind your team that there are 7 steps to closing the sale. Always write the refund minus the fees, and always give the 50 on the spot right before signing. Okay. The next thing to maximize your bonus is contacting and closing out returns on hold and returns in general. Okay, now returns on hold is a big thing. Remember earlier we said that 966 returns were not closed out last year, right? So let's say, for example, you have someone on your team who did 45 returns, right? They would not get a bonus because they didn't hit 50 returns. However, they may have 5, 6, or 8 returns on hold that would never closed out. And it's important to close them out within the next few weeks because by then they would already have signed or have went somewhere else. Okay, one thing I like about the Phoenix dashboard that's really good is it shows you when you sign on what returns that you currently have on hold. Okay, so every day we should be calling people returns on hold and making sure that we're following up with with our clients. Okay, don't let clients leave without talking to them or talking to the manager. Okay, if a client owes money, if a client expected more of a refund, if there's a fee issue, all that stuff could be addressed. Don't let the client leave and those things are not addressed. Even myself, if you need me to look at a return, for example, and if you need me to look at, is everyone still on? I just want to make sure. I know I'm talking a lot. Everyone can still hear me?
Yes, we're good.
Yep,
We're
we're
good.
all
Okay,
on.
good.
Yes,
Awesome. I like to talk a lot. I like to hear myself talk, and sometimes I forget someone is listening. So if so I'm just double checking to make sure everyone still hears me.
yeah, we are listening.
Okay, awesome. So anyway, like I was saying, and you guys have been reaching out to me already. I've been getting between bro 6 and text messages asking me to jump on to look at a return to see if we get the person refund a little bit higher. Continue to do that, whether it be myself, whether it be Chris, for example, whether it be Jamaica or Shama. or we could all jump on, look at a return, and see if we get the refund a little bit higher. So don't let a client leave because of a refund. Don't let the client leave, especially if they owe money. That's not a reason to leave. We've been able to have clients that owe money work on the return, and and maybe not get a refund, but at least don't owe the government money. A lot of people come in and say, I just don't want to owe. I don't care about getting a refund. I just don't want to owe. So the mentality for the next 3 weeks should be: do not let a client just leave the office without addressing whatever concerns they have. Okay. And finally, making thank you calls. All right, this is very, very important. This is actually required. My managers who are on the line right now, make sure your team are making thank you calls. Watch them and see that they're making those thank you calls. It goes a very long way to say thank you and I appreciate your business. Okay, also gives us an opportunity to ask the client for a referral. Okay, and all you guys are doing is just the next day after doing returns is picking 5 people. We have to do 10, 20, 30, just 5 random people and say, hey, this is Randy Page. Just calling to thank you for your business and seeing if you have any questions. The client's going to say, no, I don't have any questions, but thank you for calling. That's going to go a long way. And at that point, the person can remind the client, hey, just want to remind you, if you refer someone to our business, or refer someone to our office, or if you refer someone to me, we'll give you $50 on the spot. That's plain and simple, and it's that easy, it's that straightforward. Those calls, trust me, will go a long way. And we already have seen those calls going a long way because we've even seen a lot of feedback from our survey calls and our text messages, surveys that we've been sending out, that they all have been very, very positive. Okay, so for those who are making those thank you calls, you guys are doing a great job. If you haven't made a thank you call yet, this week is the time to start making those thank you calls and reaching out to these clients. The next thing is the net spend incentive. All right, another way to maximize bonus. Okay, so we have three ways refund gets distributed. It's through direct deposit, it's through net spend, it's through checks. Okay, direct deposit obviously is the easiest and the best way to do it. We put the money in the client's account. They don't really come back to the office unless they need a copy of the return. Net spend and checks are the next 2 ways. Now, the next 3 weeks, what I want you guys to do is mainly focus. If a client requests a check, push them towards net spend. The reason why is, first of all, net spend is 5 times faster than a check and it's 3 times faster than a direct deposit. Okay, so you can let a client know that if they're requesting a check, the net spend it will hit the net spend account 5 days faster than a check. The next thing is with checks. If you're going to a check cashing place, they charge between 3% and 8% of your refund to cash those checks. So it could be anywhere from $35 to $300 to cash a check. Where NetSpend charges $4 a month and it's 50 cents per transaction. Also with NetSpend, you could bring it to one of the banks that NetSpend has dealing with and withdraw all the money out. So they don't have to spend fees upon fees upon fees with the NetSpend cards. Okay, but the most important thing is that for every person on this line that has a client that goes on NetSpend, you get $6 for each person for each time that NetSpend cards get loaded. Now, $6 may not sound a lot right now, but if you're doing 100, 150 returns, those numbers add up. Another thing too is that if that person keeps that NetSpend card and they get direct deposit, for example, through their job, you get another $5 when they have their first direct deposit hits from their job too. Okay, so do the math. It'll add up over and over again. Okay, so when a client asks for a check, talk to them about NetSpend and try to push them towards NetSpend. Obviously, we don't want to tie the client's hands and force them to do NetSpend, but you want to talk to them about the benefits about NetSpend. All right, is there any questions so far based on what we spoke about?
No, not yet.
All right, awesome. So during this time also too, we know that again, 80% of our clients will start filing by tomorrow. So the perfect time to really focus on referrals. Now, what I see happening in the past few years is that we mainly talk about referrals during March. By that time, it's too late. All right, we do have clients that come in through our March and do the returns during March, but it's not a lot. It's not the amount of clients that come in during these next 3 weeks. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. How many H&R Blocks commercials have you seen on TV?
A lot.
A lot, right?
A
TurboTax
lot.
commercials on the radio. You have seen that a lot, right?
Yeah, TurboTax I've seen a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, TurboTax been going ham. I don't know what's going on with them. And also too, TurboTax is going to have a Super Bowl commercial. But H&R Block and TurboTax heavily focus on commercials and radio play. We don't do that. Liberty Tax has never done that. We have considered doing commercials, but for the most part, we have really shied away from that. We have entertained radio spots and radio commercials with other businesses in our areas, but for the most part, we stayed away from commercials and TurboTax. Our marketing game has been through grassroots, getting the word out through our marketing, through our waivers, and through referrals. Realistically, our business is generated 60% of returning clients, retaining our clients, which means clients coming back year after year, and 40% has been through our referrals and through our direct marketing. Okay, so if we don't ask for referrals, we're losing about 20 to 40% of our business, which means our company won't grow. We won't be able to expand and offer more opportunities, and your bonuses won't grow as well. One thing I want to point out to you too, guys, is that when a client refers business to you, they don't refer it to Liberty Tax Office, right? They don't refer it to hey, just go to Strasbourg's office and get your taxes done. They don't do it like that. They will say, well, go see Kendria, go see Angela to do your taxes. They will refer the business directly to you, not to the office. All right. So you not asking for referrals will hurt your chances of increasing your bonus. Okay. So with the client, it starts with you. When a client's in your office, especially these next 3 weeks, you really want to talk about referrals. You want to talk about the referrals, that the $50 cash that we give out when you refer people. You want to talk about the prizes that we give out. You want to give examples of those things. We talked about during training. It's about telling a story. You want telling examples. Making it a real life example with the client where it's memorable. If you're sitting with a client and say, "Hey, you refer someone, you get $50," they won't remember that. But if you sit with a client and tell them a story about a center friend situation, or tell them a story about a prize that a client got, or TVs, or show them pictures of things that we gave away, that's more memorable. The client will remember that and think about people to refer. All right. During the interview, when you sit down with a client, you have to ask for referrals at least 3 times: at the beginning, during the interview, and definitely at the end of when the return is done. Okay. And also, when a client walks into the office or calls on the phone, talk about send a friend, talk about referrals, especially these 3 weeks. A client calls on the phone, remind a client that we give $50 for referring. If you refer 4 people, you get a prize. Okay, so it starts with you guys. It starts with the office. It starts with your team. Okay, you have to let your team know that they have to focus on ask for referrals these next 3 weeks. On the back end, just let you guys know with the survey text that's been going really well. You guys been doing the completed return form. We've been getting a lot of great feedback on the survey text. When you get a chance, check out Google, because a lot of clients have been leaving Google reviews and even naming people to go see on the Google review. So the survey texts are working really well, but they just serve as a reminder for I know it's misspelled on here, but it serves as a reminder to refer a friend. Okay, what also happens too is that the call center will make calls to ask for referrals as well. So everyone is asking for referrals, but it really starts with the office. It starts with you, because the client trusts you. They don't know anyone from the call center. They just see a text. It's more of a reminder, but they know you. They have a relationship with you. So if you ask for a referral, chances are that those referrals will come in a lot better. Okay. And again, like I said earlier, now is the time. Around this time, we have what is called water cooler talk. Okay, people are talking about 3 things really. When did you get your taxes done? They're going to talk about the government shutdown, and are there any delays? All right, that's all people talk about within the next 3 weeks. How much was your refund? We all heard it before too, right? My friend said that she got $10,000 and she shouldn't have two kids, so I should go to this person because I would get the same amount. That's all they're going to be talking about the next 3 weeks, right? So you want them to have you on their mind when they're talking, okay? Everybody knows at least three people directly that has not done the tax return, meaning that it could be someone in their family, it could be a close friend of mine. They know they haven't done a return, but they know at least 10 people indirectly, and that's really through conversation. That's really through water cooler talk. When someone comes to that person and says, "Hey, I'm looking for a place to get my taxes done," or "Hey, I was happy with my refund last year," your client will say, "Hey, you know what? Go to this office and see so and so. They really did a good job with me last year." All right, and that's how really referrals come up. Is through someone bringing up a conversation, not really through a client going out there and really pushing business. All right, any questions on what we talked about so far?
Yes, please, Randy. I have two questions, please.
Hey, what that? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? Are you okay? My first question is regarding the $50 cash in flash. Is that running until when exactly?
That runs until February 16th, actually the day right after Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day falls
February
on
16th.
yeah, Valentine's Day falls on a Friday, which is I believe February 15th. That Saturday is the last day of cash in the flash, right? So I think one of you guys said it before. Um, you lose cash that day, and when you fall in love, or you go broke when you fall in love, or something like that. So it's the same thing. Once Valentine's Day is over, cash in the flash is over.
Okay, got you. My second question, please, Randy. What is the percentage of the bonus? Like you were talking about, we have to do 50 paid returns,
Hmm.
85% close rate, 85 customer service rating. So what is the percentage of the bonus, please?
That's a great question. You should look at your contract for that. But generally speaking, it starts at 3%, and then I believe when you do 100 returns, it goes up to 4%, and then I believe when you hit, I think 200, it goes up to 5%. But it's all laid out in your contract. If you don't see it, just send me a quick email, and I'll make sure you see that.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. But that's a great question, and that's a great bonus question too. Okay. And another thing too regarding the bonus, what's going to be happening the next 3 weeks is that you guys are going to be informed about where you are bonus wise, which means how many returns that you have done, how many returns that are on hold that hasn't been closed yet. What your bonus potential is looking like so far. Okay, so every week you guys should be seeing that. If you do not see that, you need to be speaking to your manager about getting that information. What I do not want to happen is after these 3 weeks are over, someone saying, "Well, I didn't know," or I wasn't aware, or I didn't understand. I'm going to put out as much information as possible to keep you guys updated, but you guys have to take the initiative too to ask and make sure you're getting the right questions. Make sure you're getting your questions answers. All right. These next 3 weeks is not about the client. It's about you guys. These next 3 weeks is about putting money into your pocket. When a client walks into the door, I know we talked about customer service, but I want you to look at these clients as dollar signs. All right. So if a client sits down in front of you, that's a dollar sign sitting in front of you. If a client walks out the door, that's a dollar sign walking out the door. If a client doesn't get paid, a client doesn't pay the return, that's a dollar sign not getting paid. Just like in the cartoons when Tom and Jerry, when Tom sees a money, his eyes turn to dollar signs. That's what I want you guys to look at when you see clients walking into the door these next 3 weeks is dollar signs.
Another question, please, Randy.
Hmm.
About the net spend, like what we should do, because like it looks like last year, I didn't send the numbers to you, so I didn't got my net spend bonus. So what we should do, so we will be sure we are getting our bonuses from the net spend.
That's actually a great question, and again, that's something that we have to get information out to you guys within the next few weeks about NetSpend and stuff like that too. But on your contract also with NetSpend, if you qualify for the bonus, you do qualify for the NetSpend. So if you didn't get your NetSpend, let me look at it this week from last year and see what happened, and get back to you on that one.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, any other questions? All right, awesome. So these are some great questions about bonus. Some great questions about net spend. If anything is unclear or anything comes back to you guys after the meeting is over, just definitely email me or email your district manager so we can make sure you guys are complete understanding of what is what. Even if you understand how the bonus structure works, before tomorrow, I really want you guys to really understand how everything works out. Okay. Just a couple of notes for you guys to know also too with the customer service center, which is the call center. Inbound calls starts on January 28th. What that means is that all calls will be routed from the office straight to the call center, and they'll be handling refund questions and statuses, getting copies to clients for their tax returns, and also setting up appointments. Now, if you have any questions as far as call center, if a call's not going through, or if you want certain calls to go through, normally the way it happens is when a customer calls into the office, 90% of the time they just want their money. They want to know where their refund is, and I don't want you guys dealing with those questions. I want you guys focusing on closing out returns. So the call center is going to be dealing with those questions. The call center is going to know how to get people to tell them what they're calling the office for. They may call the office, or they may call the office and get a call center agent and say, hey, I want to speak to Melissa. Can I speak to Melissa? Only Melissa could help me. It's going to be the call center job to find out exactly what the client is calling for, if it's for their refund status or a copy of their tax return. Obviously, if the call center can help them, it's going to be forwarded back to the office. Now, any questions with call center as far as calls you want, calls you don't want, things are not going the best way or the way that you see fit, just give Michael a call, or Bro Six Michael. I believe he's under Agent One on Bro Six, and just speak to him, and we'll get these. He'll get these. I'm sorry, Michael. You said something.
Yes, I am Agent One.
All right. So Michael's agent number one, and he's number one for a reason. All right. So he's Agent One, and on Bro Six. So any questions as far as call center or calls being forwarded, just hit up Michael on Bro Six. All right. So to do for this week, follow up on last pay stubs. Right now, W-2s are coming in. ADP dropped their W-2s on Friday, so a lot of W-2s are coming in. Are going to be coming in this week. We won't see as many, if not any, last pay stubs. So this week, focus on closing out your last pay stub. Call clients and ask them if they got their refunds. Identify which last pay stub you have on file. That's an ADP pay stub. We could now download all these ADP pay stubs on Phoenix. Okay, if you need help downloading, talk to Chris or talk to myself. We can show you how to download them, but it's very simple on Phoenix. Okay. This week also make sure you're making your thank you calls. Very, very important. Make sure you complete at least 5 calls. Thank you for trusting me to do your return. Do you have any questions? Okay. Another thing too is when you sit with your client or you're doing your thank you calls, also let them know if they have any questions about refund statuses or they can't get to you. You could also call a call center to get any information that they need. Okay. Cash in a flash, just a FYI, Monday, tomorrow, there won't be any cash drops, mainly because the banks are closed. So there's going to be offices, if not now, definitely by Monday morning, that are out of cash. Between Saturday and Monday, which is tomorrow, any office that has IOUs, let the client know once the return is done that I'm sorry, we ran out of cash, but just for waiting for tomorrow, for Tuesday, I'll give you another $10. So instead of 50, you'll get $60 for waiting till Tuesday to get your cash. Okay. The reason why we're doing this is because cash is king, cash is power, and we've seen a lot of growth with just handing out cash as opposed to doing discounts. The only thing you have to do is on your daily report, on your daily recap, is note who the IOUs are for and how much they're getting, which should be $60. And Tuesday morning, you have that amount in your office to give to those clients. Okay, and also continue to make sure you're completing all the reports. Okay, you have your completed return report, which you guys have been doing well, and that's very important because it's been helping us with our surveys and with our customer service. Your clock out report, make sure you're doing that. Reminds you to clock out. Also asks a few basic questions just to keep us in the loop of what's going on in the office. Send a friend report is very important. If you're giving out cash for a send a friend, make sure that you fill out that report. All right, so we could tie out and make sure everything balances. And finally, the close rate report. I mean the customer retention report. That's really the walkout report. If a client walks out, fill that out so we could jump on it right away and see what we could do to get that client back. All right, so I'll leave you with this. There are only two things that will happen within the next 2-3 weeks. Opportunities will either be missed or taken advantage of. Okay, and it's really at this point really up to you guys to take everything that you've been trained on, everything that you've learned, and really apply it throughout the between the closing the sale, between the where we ask for referrals. These next 3 weeks, even though we preach customer service, it's really about you guys. It's really about maximizing as much money as possible. And my goal is to help you guys get there. Okay, so whatever you need to get there, I'm on Bro 6. Just let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Does anyone have any questions about what we talked about so far? All right, so you guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. Um, let's make this next 3 weeks a successful weeks. We won't have any calls unless it's very important, but there will be some recordings made, and I'll email you the links for those recordings. But the next 3 weeks is gonna be on you guys. It's gonna be on all of us. Let's work together and let's make it a 24 magic type 3 weeks. I just wanna take you let's set this party on
Randy, are you there? Can you hear me?
what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. So clear. Look out! Pop, pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? They don't know y'all. I bet they know as soon as I walk in. We're a mix. Yeah, sign a mix. Yeah, Inglewood's finest shoes.
Randy, can you hear me? Are you still there?
The color red, the blue. Shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the keep up.